Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Um, if to this to my channel. Um, Thank you for tuning in. In today's reading, I'm going to be getting into an energy that's been kind of prevalent today. Is um, I'm getting a lot in the collective energy, intrusive thoughts. Um, Maybe struggling with some of those. So we're gonna get into it to see what that's about. If this does resonate with you, take what resonates and leave the rest. Um, Also, if it resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, of course, that helps the channel. Um, and yeah, let's just get into it. So we've got these intrusive thoughts going on. Um, but I'm not really getting anything really like negative from it. Um, Hi, Oliver. Yeah. So I'm just gonna draw these cards. So actually, hold on. You distracted me, Bibos. Give me just a second. I'm gonna shuffle these real quick again. I'm just gonna do this. So we just need 4 cards. But yeah, feel free to let me know how y'all are doing today. Excuse you. I'm talking now. Yeah. Where was I? So feel free to let me know how everyone's doing with the energies today. It's overall peaceful and calm, but I am getting it's like there are some intrusive thoughts going around. So it could be kind of touch and go. And one more. I'm sipping on I have chamomile tea with mint tonight, I mean. Feel free to let me know if you got a little something to drink while you're watching this. I would love to hear about it, see what everybody else is sipping on. Maybe what's helping support you during this transition with the energy shifting. And then I got this one. So first off, we have on the bottom of the deck. So this has to do with whatever you've been manifesting. And a quote I've been getting that I really liked, and I was gonna share a post on this, probably still will, and I really liked it, and it went, the earth, the physical reality resists you to support you. And the way I interpreted that is like, you think about when you're running or when a bird's flying, it's like without the resistance, the friction from the ground, the lift from the air, which is resisting, there'd be no movement. So I'm getting that's what's more what these intrusive thoughts are. It's to kind of like that last little like resistance, which never really goes away, but it's helping support you through this, because we've been talking about like we're transitioning through this void state, and we're coming up to a portal. So it's definitely along the lines of that same energy. So the next card we have here is what's going on with others and behind the scene. It's just kind of a natural flow. We got the nature card. And with that, it's giving me like a higher divine energy is orchestrating, is working with nature to where it's orchestrating lots of events that you may not even be aware of behind the scenes, but they are in your favor. And it sees, and with those eyes, what I'm getting is that this is all in alignment with whatever you've been, goals or manifestations you've been working towards or trying to call into your life. With those eyes, I don't know if you can really see them, but there's 3 eyes and they're all lined up, and then you got the wings. And then on top of that, so it's this higher divine alignment, but it's also got this upside down crescent moon. So instead of like when the crescent moon's the other way, like this, which is more like to receive, it's in reverse. So it's pouring those out amongst the collective. For you personally, it's just the universe responding. So I have the universe, but it's also, so the way I'm reading this card is, you see like there's some, you might be starting to go more in like as you detach, practicing detachment right now is what you're doing, and that's very common as you start to pull back your energy and detach, that it will kick up these intrusive thoughts, and it can kind of make you anxious. It's very normal. It's trying to almost invite itself back in, because and depending on how long, you had those or are used to those thoughts or that energy, will kind of dictate how long it kind of lingers around. But this is a co-creation, and that's what I get from this too. Something is also being illuminated, so we have like a lot of illumination, and that goes along like people speaking their truth. I know that came up in like a recent reading. Yes, Bubba's. And so it's because every single one of these cards, like I'll show you. So you got the illumination here. Excuse you. Yeah. You got something to say? And then you got illumination here. And then we have the higher perspective card. You got illumination there. And then with the sacred sexuality, we also have an illumination. And so Spirit's asking you to meet it where it's at with that higher perspective. Because like I was saying, it's that higher divine energy coming through and orchestrating and supporting you in this. And it's asking you to take that higher perspective with the higher perspective card. And then we both have the wings here. So it's asking you to match it and meet where it's at and stay in that flow as much as you can. And not try, like, definitely don't suppress your feelings. Like, we always want to acknowledge and not dismiss ourselves, because these are aspects of self. But start seeing them more from a higher perspective, so that it's easier to let go of these attachments and continue detaching and holding that higher perspective, that higher timeline that you're shifting into. A confirmation burp with that. And then we have the end result of this is something around, so we have the sacred sexuality, and that has to do with a lot of aspects of self and relationships, but this is giving me sacral chakra energy for sure. And so it's giving me a sense that something to do more with self than so much your external relationships, but it will inevitably have a ripple effect, has been healed and brought whole. And you can see that with the sphere, and it's bringing clarity with how you show up. And so the sexual part of it is there's a lot more to it than that. So this is a very creative energy. So it doesn't have to be just romantic or physical in the more like conventional nowadays modern interpretation of sex. It has to do with more like your creative energy, that creative force, which draws in people, situations, and things that are in alignment to you and what you're bringing in and calling into your life. So things are going to become very clear and whole. Something's healing. Like I'm very much getting like something within the sacral chakra with that has to do with your sacred sexuality and all aspects of it is coming full circle and healing, which we might have been disconnected for a very long time from without even realizing it, is what I'm getting. And then I wanted to pull some tarot just to clarify get some more on what is going on with these intrusive thoughts. So what is going on with these intrusive thoughts a little bit more, get a little bit more details on that. Here we go. So we have the King of Wands. And I'm hearing 2 cards. Oh. There we go. Oh, no, 3 cards. So give me 3 cards. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Swords. So that really speaks to betrayal. So maybe there's been like betrayal, some abandonment. So maybe the intrusive thoughts, I'm getting that the intrusive thoughts may have to do with a situation around that, or just even perceived. And Spirit's asking you to take a higher perspective from that. And now that you've healed so much and you've changed so much while embodying a new, higher, more authentic sense of self, that you start looking at it from that now instead of approaching it from what was the old story of what you told yourself before you knew all the things that you know now and have learned since that time. Give me just a second. Ooh, a little hot. And then we have the King of Wands. But what I'm getting is that you aren't really letting this bother you maybe as much as you might think. I think you're doing better than you think. So even if you're struggling right now, know that Spirit wants to let you know you're doing good. You're like definitely still in alignment. Don't worry about it. Check in with your state and ask yourself, who am I being right now? To help yourself. But we have the Kings of Wands, so it's very fiery, passionate energy with the fire element. But you see he's got the lion right there, and so that's like the lower aspect of self. So he has it right there in balance, in harmony, at his command. So trust that your instincts will tell you if this is something really to be worried about or not. And if you're not getting that, and it just seems more like, almost like what I'm getting is like a mosquito or a fly, is like what these intrusive thoughts, this anxious energy feels like. It's like, don't worry, you're kind of beyond that at this point. You're very much standing in your power, and very capable of commanding this energy towards your goals. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So that's very like mental energy. So, and she's kind of doing the same thing. She's got that beast there. So in conjunction with the King of Wands, what's getting is that you're bringing these lower aspects of self into a higher aspect of self. And it still it's still going to have that like more beast animal nature to it, but it's going to be from this higher vantage point where like the lion, it's on the ground, it's a land creature, but now it's taking flight, and I believe, oh no, it doesn't have a crown, but it's kind of got like a crown of feathers. I don't know if you can really see it there, but right there. And she's doing this, as you can see the way she holds her hand up, it's doing this through love, and a very universal love energy of understanding, of very much accepting. But she has her sword at the ready, which is telling me that if she needs to cut something and to let it go, she's very capable and in a very detached way able to do so. And she has her higher elevated sense of her lower, what used to be her lower self excuse me, to help guide her in this, because she's like, it's like they work in conjunction with each other now. They're very in harmony, in sync with each other. So then we have the last card in this deck that Spirit wanted to share. We have the Hierophant. So again, and so their whole, and I know it's not like the traditional Rider Waite, but you're holding these keys in a balancing act, confirmation verb, excuse me, and they're kind of at the ready, and it's not really time to use these keys, but you're aware that you have these keys and they're at the ready. And with the Hierophant energy, it's very like, I'm getting like Christ consciousness. It's very like, it's once again, it's going into that higher perspective. And you can see behind the bull that like it's merging this lower self and higher self, higher aspects, that higher perspective. They're coming into alignment and integrating into each other, because you can see the Kabbalistic reference with the I can't remember the name right now forgive me, but that it's showing that divine coming down, they're meeting each other and integrating. So lots of like integrating, and that's very normal when integrating, that like intrusive thoughts, old stories, old timeline, old like thought patterns, like that they'll start popping up, and that's normal. That's just kind of like the integration process. It's like, from my experience, I really can't explain more than that. It's very much like an experience thing. And then I wanted to get into this, my new oracle, and see what the dreams have to say. We'll get a little bit more into that. What's going on maybe in your dreams or in the subconscious that, Spirit wants you to know, and that can maybe help you. But it seems like really like this is more just a confirmation reading. You don't really seem to really need much. It's kind of just very much like, let it go, know where you need to cut ties to certain energies or thought patterns, kind of break that pattern, disrupt it, and then let it phase itself out. So we have the one. So this is giving me like, so we have a blue card, yeah. And I might have to reference to the book because I'm still kind of new to this one. Oops. And she's strumming this harp. So that gives that. This is like it's a harmonic dance between the lower aspects of self coming up to meet the higher self, and vice versa, the higher self coming to meet down and refine the lower self and create this integration energy. So they're harmonizing. And let me look into the book, get a little bit more on that. Oh, this one. So this is an air element. It's asking to play. So that's Spirit's advice. Try to be more playful with it. Be curious. even get inquisitive maybe a little bit of like a question that I like to ask is like, what role or does this serve right now, or what role has this served me, maybe. And a message will change your life. So there's definitely like some news or some messages that are going to be coming in for you. And this is giving more like external events. So this is an external message, something coming from somebody else or some in your environment. And then we got a quote by Charles Darwin: "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." So that's given me that is exactly kind of like this integration and initiation before you continue forward, or as you continue forward, is that it's seeing how you're able to adapt and change and shift. Can you really shift and embody this expanded, higher aspect of yourself? Or are you going to let it slip through and fall back into old patterns and energy and stuff? And you know, that's the good to say, like, even if you do, it's not a big deal. Like, that's kind of a pattern in the grand scheme of things. Like, you know, you do sometimes take a couple of steps back because maybe there's something you needed to revisit, and then you go forward, and then maybe go back a little bit more, but then you go forward, and then you're finally just like, you're just going forward from there on. And that's completely okay. Like, we were getting that in a previous reading too, that it's okay. Like, you have time, take your time, and that's why Spirit wants you to take your time, because Spirit really would like, if you did, like, would prefer and would like to help you not have to revisit it more than you really need to. So, and then we have on the bottom of the deck, we have the 7, which is a green card, which I believe that is, what, number 7 again? But it's kind of like, she gives me like holding pillars type energy. She's holding both energies. And it's yet again, it's the same message, and like bringing them together in harmony and integration. Hi. Yeah. But I will read from it. Yep, exactly. Look for harmony and balance. Water, feelings, emotions. Resolve inner conflict. What have I been saying? This is your chance to really resolve some inner conflicts that I feel like have been going on for a while. And for you, maybe, and you've been in this cycle for a bit, but this is a true, like, honest, good time to leap forward and leave a lot of this behind. If you want to be somebody really special, be yourself. So it's a very, it's a call to remember, really. It's a call to remember these, how the truly your higher and lower aspects actually play with each other, and how you embody them. So this is really exciting. Like, definitely, like, if this resonates with you, like, let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe, but like, if you feel called to share, like, share a little bit of like maybe what you're experiencing, or like how this ends up playing out for you. I would be really interested to hear. And until then, take care. Sending you all so much love. And until next time, bye bye.